There she is. What, you gotta go outside? Huh? You wanna go outside? You know that word, don't you? Outside. Outside. Or do you just want some attention? Is that what it is? You just want some attention? Alright, come on, let's go outside. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Work Hard Ellswick. Finally back out in the garage again. And we're finally ready to get started on this project. I know I haven't been on here for a while. At least haven't put anything of substance up on the channel. But I've been waiting for a lot of parts. Like to have everything I need before I get started. And then plus I don't want to make this thing the Brown Turd, as I'm calling it. I don't want to make it non-movable until I have everything to put back on it, because I only got so much garage space to work out of. And I've had some other private projects going on for neighbors and stuff, so I needed the garage space. But here we are, finally. Let me spin this camera around. Alright, so check this out. So the only thing I've done is pull the bed off of this thing. I've done nothing else. Kind of got the side moldings and stuff off of it. There's the inside of the bed. Nothing major, just dirty. And here goes the truck out here. So what we got to do first before we can do anything else is get this frame cleaned up. You can see how nasty all the dirt that's in there. I think I ate about 5 or 6 pounds worth of dirt when I was laying under this thing unbolting the bed. And we're gonna have to do a lot of welding and stuff on this frame, so this stuff's all got to get cleaned up. We'll get that all degreased. We're gonna end up changing all the seals in the rear end. So that's what's on the agenda for today. Look at this gas tank. Gas tank's gonna end up coming out too, most likely. It sits too low, I think, for how low the truck's gonna sit. But we'll get to that point when we get there. I may end up buying something just to fit between the rails back there. And it's got a mechanical fuel pump on it, so we can just run a new line. We'll be fine with it. Let me show you all the parts that we got here. So a couple different people hooked me up with all this stuff. So the majority of everything here on this side is all the rear end. These are all the brackets and everything for the airbags, the 4-link. I don't know if y'all have heard. I'm just learning about these. I got a Watts link set up here for it. That's all the rear end. And then the front end, that's the main piece right there. That cross member, whatever you want to call it, which is going to move the suspension, I think, back an inch. It's back or forward an inch. And then we'll put all the new A-arms, bag brackets, all new ball joints. We got a new steering. Pretty much got everything we need to do all the suspension. The only thing that I'm missing right now, and I just had to order them the other day, was originally I was going to use the stock spindles for the front. But after talking to, so I got all this stuff from Chopping Block, and all this stuff a guy in California made for me. But the Chopping Block guys that I was talking to recommended the McGauhys 2.5-inch drop spindles with this to complement the ride height and everything that we got going on. So yeah, we should be talking a bunch of wheel and tire once all this stuff's on there. The majority of all this stuff for the rear end is all bolt on. So all these brackets, you can see the holes. So where the rear leaf springs mount to the frame right now, that stuff's all coming off, and these brackets will mount back in its place. The only thing that's weld on for the rear end is obviously the C-notch, which is right there. We got to weld that all together and get it on the frame. And then the brackets that go around the rear end for the 4-link. So once you get all these brackets set and get all your arms and stuff put in, you'll know exactly where you need to weld those brackets onto the rear end, and it should make it pretty easy. So we got some bags here. This is the front bags. I got 4 of them just in case. Slam Specialties. And then I think I'm gonna get the Dominator 2600 bags for the back. All the everybody I've talked to so far says that's kind of what they're running on the back, so that's what we're gonna give a shot. So what do I still need? I need the front spindles, which we have on order. We're gonna go with the McGauhys stuff, like I said. I got the rear bags, which I got 4 of those coming too, because I like having spares just in case. And that should be it for the suspension. Steering wise, once we get all this stuff mounted, we'll have to run our own lines, but I can get fittings and stuff like that from anywhere locally around here to get that going, to get that rack and pinion put in and get it running. And that should cover all the suspension, and that's kind of the goal right now. I'm going to work on this thing. My son and I are going to work on this thing until we get all the suspension set where we want it. So I'm going to get it all mocked up the way that it is now. Once it's good on the back, we'll pull the back all apart. We'll powder coat everything. Obviously with the powder coat oven and the powder coating stuff that I got, we'll get all the rear suspension all powder coated and get it reinstalled for the final install on it. Get the bags in it, get the back all done, and then basically I'll have to flip the truck around and start on the front, which I think I'm gonna have to pull the motor, or at least lift it, to get the motor mounts and shit changed out, so I can get this put in, so I can get this thing put in up front so we can be ready. Oh, and that's the other thing. When I ordered this kit, they sent me where are they at? I don't see them. They sent me the wrong motor mounts anyways. They sent me LS motor mounts, and there's one laying over there. They sent me LS motor mounts, and I got a small block Chevy, which is what we're going to run in this thing. So I should have those motor mounts, I think, in the next 2 days or so. I called them, it was no issue. They grabbed the right ones and shipped them off into the mail to me. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at. So right now, today, the biggest part is going to be getting this frame cleaned up, and I'll do a little bit of a time lapse for it. All right, I'll get you guys set up on a tripod. Give me a minute here. See if we can get some of this mud cleaned off. This thing must have been stuck in the mud at one point or something, I don't know. Alright folks, check this out. Look at all the mud on the ground from this thing. Holy cow. So I got a few minutes of time lapse of me cleaning this. I actually cleaned the whole frame, laying on my dolly underneath, going all the way up as best I could. So I've been cleaning on this thing for about 6 hours. I got the rear end really good. It's all degreased. I'm gonna take my leaf blower and blow all the excess water off of it now, so I can get this thing ready to go in the garage. And once we get it in there, we'll get it up on some jack stands and work on starting to take this rear end apart. So we're gonna have to get the angle that the rear end's sitting at, and I'll get the angle that the transmission sitting at. That cross member I'll have to be changed up there, and then that way when we take the rear end and everything apart, once we get it centered and start getting the 4-link and everything put together, which I'm going to do first, so we can have this thing centered where it needs to be. It'll be set and welded into place. I may even do the the rest of the stuff that needs to get welded, like the Watts link and everything to the rear end, so the rear end's set where it needs to be. Now once all that stuff's good, my hand's completely in the way, then I'll put the C notches in where they need to be, and then everything should be pretty square. I've never done this before, so, well, not completely like this. I've done obviously a lot of lowering and lift kits, but never a true Super C with the Watts link and everything like that. So yeah, this frame came out really good. I mean, it's got a tiny bit of surface rusted on it, but to be 43 years old, that damn thing's in great shape, and it's nothing that we can't touch up. You know, we'll scuff it down once we get everything cut and welded, get the frame painted back black, and then we'll do all accent colors on all of our brackets and stuff, which is a surprise. Y'all have to see it as we're doing it. But there she goes, about 6 hours worth of cleaning. You can see all the mud and everything laying underneath it. We degreased everything, got all the mud shot off of it, and this will give us a really good platform to work off of. We'll be able to get some good welds and everything as we're working through putting all this rear suspension on. So like I said earlier, we're going to get it all mocked up, get everything into place, get it where it needs to be, get it all set, and then we're going to pull it all back apart, powder coat everything, and then final install everything. And once the rear's done, we'll flip the truck around and start ripping apart the front. Cool. Let me turn this camera back around. There you go. Now you can see me. All right, that's gonna do it for this one, guys. Just a little cleanup project. Getting kind of dark getting in the garage. Here we go. Now I'm in some light. Just a little cleanup project on this thing. I show you guys all the suspension parts and everything we got. So pretty excited to get started on this one. We're gonna start getting this rear end slammed out this weekend. So hopefully I'll have another video up here shortly. And today's Friday. This one will get posted here shortly, and then my son and I will start ripping everything apart. He's actually in shop class in school right now, so he's learning about suspension and everything. So he's eager to help me cut all the stuff out of this old truck here and get all the new stuff put in. So shouldn't take that long. Another video coming to you here shortly. Oh, look at the big 3500 sitting behind me. She's been sitting all winter. I just uncovered her here shortly and fired her up, so she'll be back out on the road here pretty soon as well. But that's it for this one. I appreciate everybody coming by and checking it out. Like I said, I've never done this before. We're gonna work our way through it. Got any advice, put it in the comments below, and we'll go from there. All right, I'll catch up with y'all shortly. Thanks for checking me out. Peace.